First of all, I would like to thank you all for inviting me for this discussion on Jan Vishwas bill. As Sir said, we welcome this bill, but only introducing the bill doesn't serve the motive. However, this initiative that has been taken by the central government is very good and may be very fruitful in future. Now, the first point in the favor of this bill is what I feel that this bill is introduced to rationalize the criminal provisions, especially to reduce undue pressure on the judicial system of the country. We know about the facts of the pendency of the cases that are in the courts. There are no hidden facts. Everything is open now. Our judiciary is overburdened. Now the second most important thing is here to address some technical and procedural defaults as well without imposing severe penalties. So only imposing severe penalties doesn't serve the motive. However, some technical and procedural defaults must also be introduced. Now, this act is also very good in order to boost up the growth of the business by eliminating barriers and promoting conducive legal environment. I think this is one of the most important objectives that the government is trying to fulfill by introducing this act. Now, the key feature of the bill, as I discussed, is the imposing of the fines, provisions and control into them in the penalties. So, the only thing I would like to say, enhancing the penalties doesn't serve the motive. You are going to amend more than 183 provisions in 42 central acts administered by the 19 ministries or more over. But what about the side effects of these amendments? For example, Indian Postal Act. This act was made to control the activities performed by the officers of the post office. What about that? For example, opening of the posts. So that creates a doubt in the minds of the people that how these officials will be controlled to prevent such type of activities that can destroy the privacy of the people who rely on these postal services. Thank you.
So a very good morning to the august gathering over here. It's really a privilege for me to speak on a topic that I'm not sure, but honestly speaking, if I may have a few hands to be raised, how many of you had heard about this bill? It's not a bill any longer, it's an act now. But how many of you honestly had heard about this bill before this was introduced in the panel? May I see a few hands a bit? I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. Maybe, okay, I'll give or take. Some people may be shy. Maybe some people might have heard, but they have heard it from a different nomenclature. So the purpose, this actually sets the purpose. What is meant by Vishwas? It's faith, belief. Where is it defined? It's defined in the same place which we read today at the beginning of this session, the preamble. If I talk about this particular bill, the best part is there have been a lot of hue and cry all across the media. Many people have raised a lot of concerns, and rightfully so, because when we are decriminalizing, then obviously we wouldn't like to say that maybe we are trying to do away with the onerous punishments that were there. Maybe we are making life easier for the corrupt persons. Many people have labeled this bill to be as pro-industrialists. It's not a bill for the people. It's not a bill for the arm or arm jan. So many people have said a lot of things. But if I look, or if anybody looks at the whole soul, the modus operandi of this bill, the modus operandi of this bill actually lies way back in 2020, or maybe a few years even ago, when the idea was that we need to lift India in its ease of business ranking, ease of doing business, the index that was there. India was lagging far, far, far behind. Now, I'm not saying that maybe this bill will immediately boost India's chances to skyrocket up and place it in the top 10. But maybe it's a movement in the right direction. Still now, when we talk about ease of doing business, which is one of the fundamental cornerstones of this particular bill, it states, or rather what we consider is judicial delays, pendency of cases, one of the major reasons. All of you would agree? Even the judiciary agrees to this. That's yes. Pendency of cases, too much time taken in disposing of the matters, one of the major contributing factors. What does this bill do? The bill, in that direction, tries to decongest the courts. This will automatically have an impact. Now, I'm not saying that whatever it has done maybe is completely right. That is only for the time to tell. That whether this bill will actually fructify or it will be giving us the desired results or not, that is something for us to contemplate and see how the bill or how the acts after this modification become. Because this is an enabling kind of an act which has modified multiple statutes having wide ramifications. It's not that only statutes in a particular domain. Okay, we have linked it with link of doing business, or we have linked it with ease of doing business. And the second aspect, another broad aspect, broad vision of the government, that is ease of living. Now, how does ease of living fare in over here? Living over here would be in context of the people, the industrialists, but not the big ones. We have MSMEs, micro, small, medium enterprises, which has been the core focus of any government for that matter, should have been and is always there. And they will now have an easier life, it's expected, because the compliance burden is expected to go down. Now you might say, sir, why are you saying that compliance burden will go down? The compliances have not been affected. Well, entirely not. But if you do a non-compliance, you don't have the worry at the back of your mind that I'll land up in jail. Okay, you have made a mistake. All of your students, you know the difference between getting debarred from your end semester exams and having to give 10 extra assignments just to ensure that, okay, yes, I have studied this concept, I might sit in the exams. I would say, many people would say, I would rather do 10 assignments rather than getting debarred and coming or sitting for an exam in the next semester. I hope that's what the general trend would be. So the point is here, non-compliance would not land you in getting debarred or getting jailed. You have to do certain penalties. Of course, you have done a mistake. For that, we have a fund that will be taken care of, that will be used for the betterment. So overall, the bill does serve the broad goals that on this Constitution Day we had started with, the preamble. When we say if I want to conclude whatever I had said till now, I would say that this particular bill has had its own highs and own set of lows. But if we celebrate the highs, then we can understand that the bill, if I break down the preamble itself, if I don't have to go into the inner details or everything, then we'll see that this particular bill actually has taken into account all the principles of the preamble that has been laid down. Talking about equality, talking about socialism, talking about justice, and also talking about liberty. Because liberty is the place where we have faith and belief being visioned and being crystallized. So I think Jan Vishwas bill is something which will help the present Indian corporates or the aspiring corporates, entrepreneurs, and the vast majority of people who are there in the society looking to make a mark in the manufacturing sector, and will also help India's chances in the economic growth. But the only pinch of salt that I would like to also highlight over here is one thing I could not help but notice. Democracy is one thing that might have been overlooked in the rush of the hour. We know that this bill is one of the extraordinary achievements which we got within 1 year. Like the background of this bill, the report that was there, the name of the report was There was an Observer Research Foundation who did a monograph titled Jailed for Doing Business. That was one of the background which set the ball rolling. And within 1 year, we got this particular bill and that got passed and we have received the presidential assent. But one thing I believe that this is the pinch of salt for me that I want to clearly deliver this message to you also. Did we have a democratic process in getting this bill? That is my one only question that I would like to raise. The bill is good, motives are good, objectives are fantastic. Maybe you can expect a very good result also out of it. But did we have a democratic process? You would say, sir, we had a joint parliamentary committee. It was read in the parliament. It was read in both the houses. There was deliberations. But does democracy means the people only? That is, the people sitting in the parliament only. When we say we, the people of India, we are not talking about the constituencies, we're not talking about the parliaments only. We're talking about the people, the Aam Janta. So that is where I believe that might be one small point that, just like our chief guest said in the morning deliberation itself, maybe in the rush of the hour we forgot about the presidential assent. Maybe over here we might have left the democratic aspect of it a bit outside, and the whole soul democracy in getting this bill might have been overlooked. Thank you, everybody.